Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. This moment is iconic. It's something that everybody should see because it's real. Women and young girls are being cheated, they are being bullied, and they are being removed from their own spaces. That is exactly what's happening. This targeted compassion that only seems to go one way. The entire world needs to bend over backwards, needs to mold and form and twist to the whims and the will of one particular group of people, at the expense of everybody else. In this case, at the expense of young girls and young women, young female athletes, and it's just simply wrong. Remember the whole Leah Thomas controversy from, what was that, maybe like a year ago, probably a little bit less than a year ago, but that viral clip and all the viral photos after the NCAA championship. You know, photos like this with Riley Gaines as gays. Riley Gaines, of course, has gone on to be a prominent female sports advocate. Well, photos like these, moments like these are iconic because, as the old saying goes, photo is worth 1,000 words, and a video must be worth 1,000,000. Well, we have another example, another situation, another iconic moment, iconic photo, video, whatever it is, that shows the reality of what's going on. I'll reiterate, it simply isn't right. Let me update you guys on the story. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so take a look at the headline. Watch. High school track star flashes unhappy gesture after being cheated out of state championship opportunity by trans competitor. Security kicks out people who are peacefully protesting the trans athlete's inclusion. Dublin, California. Controversy erupted over the weekend right after a biological male athlete took home second place at a high school track and field competition in California. Athena Ryan, a junior from Sonoma Academy, claimed the silver medal in the varsity girls' 1,600-meter run during the North Coast Meet at Champions of California finals on Saturday. He now advances to the California Interscholastic Federation State Track and Field Championships next week after finishing in the top 3 according to the New York Post. The fourth place finisher, who was cheated out of the state championship meet by Ryan, expressed her displeasure with an unhappy gesture during the podium placement ceremony. In the video, we can see Branson High School senior Adeline Johnson waving to the crowd before appearing to flash a thumbs down sign, though it's not, quote, 100% clear. Take a look at the video.
In fifth place is already bound with a time of 1:12:03, Rihanna Lee. In fourth place for Branson High School at a time of 1:11:17, Adeline Johnson. In third place at a time of 1:11:48 from Campolino High School, Ellie Buckley. In second place at a time of 1:11:78, just tuck in. And in first place with a time of 1:11:05 from Montgomery High School, Hannah Thompson.
Now, it's not perfectly clear, but it certainly is clear. If we freeze the frame right over here, that seems like a thumbs down. That seems, in general, like a very unhappy person. And it makes sense because that's the individual who's mostly affected. Whoever finished in 5th and 6th place, well, they wouldn't have made the top 3 no matter what. This young girl finished in 4th specifically because a biological male was allowed to compete against young females, and that person booted her off the top 3 podium spots. It's heartbreaking to see. It's yet again a young woman being cheated out of an opportunity to not only compete in these events, to not only move on to the championship, but to gain experience, make friends, more connections, and most importantly, gain exposure in the sport. Going to these championships, traveling and competing, making it to these big events is how you get scholarships. That's how you get to the next level. That's how you get exposure, and that's how you move your life forward as a student athlete. This young girl was robbed, plain and simple. But nobody seems to care, and certainly no one cares in California. In fact, people who do care are an extreme minority there. A group of protesters showed up to the event, simply standing peacefully with a Protect Female Sports banner, and well, exactly what you might expect, the typical response.
That is disgusting. I find that it's none of your business what someone else does. That's offensive. I feel sorry for all your sorry.
What's wrong with you?
With an oh-so-coherent argument, It shouldn't even matter, and it's none of your business what someone else does. That's offensive. Pretty sure it is our business. You know, I don't have kids just yet, but we're planning on it pretty soon, and so one day I might have daughters. And my daughters are definitely gonna play sports, or at least I'm gonna heavily encourage it. You know what I wouldn't want? Is for my daughters to be competing against biological males. Unreal. None of your business. It's absolutely my business. It's everybody's business. Because it's simply wrong. The woman then says as she cowardly runs away, I have to paraphrase it a little bit because this woman simply can't utter a sentence without swearing, I feel sorry for your sorry behinds. I wanted to mention that statement because you know who I feel sorry for? I feel sorry for the girl who ended up in 4th place. I feel for every single young female athlete losing opportunity and losing their spaces. That's the issue that I care about. Then, of course, in typical California fashion, security was called and they removed the group who were simply peacefully protesting, holding up a Protect Female Sports banner.
Protect female sports. There you go.
They're kicking us out. They're kicking us out because we care about women and girls.
No, that's not true. That's not what we're doing. Yeah. I'm an activist myself. You can't say that.
Welcome to California Clown World, where everybody simply goes along with the current thing. It's crazy. I mean, it's some sort of woke brainwash, the woke mind virus, where people don't question, they don't think, they simply go along. This is the current Democrat thing, therefore. Just simply going along with things that don't make fundamental sense. In many cases, things that are simply wrong. Just blindly following and allowing it to happen, and not just allowing it to happen, but propping it up, enabling it, fighting for it. It's crazy, 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 crazy. I mean, even looking at the polling data on this issue, this is the most recent poll that I could find, released early May, I think May 5th, 2023. Majority of Americans believe gender is determined at birth and are against biological males in women's sports. That's not surprising, of course not, but the number itself is. Because that headline, you'd expect it to read, the absolute super majority or overwhelming majority of Americans believe that biological males shouldn't compete in female sports. But when it comes to college and professional sports, 65% of Americans don't believe that biological males should be allowed to compete in women's sports, while 34% in both categories were behind the idea. Only 65%. 34% of the country, in other words, California and some other left-wing pockets, disagree. I mean, that is complete craziness to me. That is insane. Because as you know, you can never be woke enough. It's not enough to just be accepting. It needs to go above and beyond, reaffirming, celebrating, moving mountains for whatever identity group is at the top of the woke pyramid. Basic common sense be damned. It's a frickin' cult. Protect women's sports, and even beyond that, protect women's spaces in general. That really shouldn't be a controversial stance. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, you know that we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.